Help me reach 7,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. She pushed through the door past midnight like she'd borrowed the night from someone else and didn't plan to return it. Heels in hand, phone in her face, straight to the bathroom. Water on. Door closed. Why are you this late? I asked from the hallway. No yelling. Just a question. Not your business. She tossed back through steam, as if we were roommates who split utilities in silence. It is my business. You're my wife. She clicked the lock like a period at the end of a sentence. I stood there long enough to see the pattern. The way she didn't ask, didn't explain, just removed me from the loop. When she finally came out in a robe, past 1 in the morning, she walked by me like I was furniture. You could have texted, I said. You could have trusted, she shot back, tying the belt. I'm exhausted. Exhausted from what? She shook her head, as if the conversation bored her. I'm going to bed. No, I answered. You can sleep. The going to bed after you ice me out isn't happening. She stopped. Are you serious right now? Very. We either talk like partners or we don't share a bed. Pick. Silence. She grabbed a pillow from the couch and went upstairs. I stayed in the kitchen, standing by a half-cold mug and a stack of unread mail, staring at the ceiling like it had answers. If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have scheduled that talk for daylight and moved more than pillows. In the morning, she played domestic peace with the volume down. Coffee, toast, eyes on her phone. I was at the counter, tie half nodded, watching the two of us not look at each other. We good? She asked finally. Flat tone. No eye contact. No, we're not. You're making this a thing, she said, buttering like she had a plane to catch and civility was carry on. You shut me out and tell me to mind my own business. I replied, tightening the knot. I'm not letting that slide. People get home late. Stop being dramatic. I leaned against the fridge. I asked for communication. You gave me a locked door. She sighed. I needed space. Space is a conversation, not a lock. Where were you? Her smile was thin. With friends. Names, I said. Not because I needed roll call. Because I wanted the truth to have a face. She laughed. You don't get to audit my night. Right? But I do get to decide my morning. Here it is. This week's plans change. No Saturday double date. No drop everything errands. If you want to talk, schedule it. If you want to disappear, do it without me on standby. Oh, so we're setting appointments to talk to our spouses now? She mocked. To talk to this one? Yeah, because not your business is a teenager's line. She rolled her eyes. You're being controlling. Control is telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. Big difference. She put down the knife, finally meeting my eyes. You think being cold right back makes you strong? I'm not being cold, I answered. I'm being clear. Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, smiled in a way that wasn't for me, then locked it and slipped it into her robe pocket. I'm going to shower. Again? I asked. She paused. Yeah, again. I'll be at the shop late, I said. Don't wait on me. She stepped away. Wasn't planning to. That night, she floated in after 10, a breeze of perfume and deflection. I was in the garage going through the camping bins, pulling my stuff into one trunk. There's a point where you stop debating and start sorting. She stuck her head through the door. What are you doing? Separating gear, I said, coiling a lantern cord. My stuff, your stuff. I'm done with the confusion. Are you moving out? She was amused, like she'd caught a sitcom plot. Not today, I replied. But I'm no longer an extension of your calendar. I'm carving out my hours. Sounds lonely, she muttered. Lonely is sleeping next to someone who speaks in locks. She smirked, then shifted to soft. I was just tired last night. Then say that last night. She hesitated, eyes moving past me to the trunk. Whatever. I've got an early dinner Wednesday. Don't cook. Noted. I'll eat at the shop. Wednesday landed like an appointment with a dentist you didn't choose. I still cooked out of habit. Grilled chicken and green beans, because routine is stubborn. She came home at 7, hairstyled like she was going somewhere better. Dropped her bag, sniffed the counter. You cooked? Cute. Sit. I told her, pulling out a chair. 10 minutes. She sat, impatient posture, one leg bouncing. I didn't touch the food. We actually doing this? She asked. We are. You want space? Fine. Define it. She looked at me like I'd missed a memo. I think we should pause our marriage, just for 3 weeks while I'm in Europe, she said, breezy, as if she were saying the store ran out of milk. I need clarity. No rules. No guilt. A clean break to think. I'll be back with answers. I watched her face. No hesitation. No test balloon. An announcement. A pause, I repeated. While you're in Europe. Don't make it weird, she said. It's healthy. People do resets all the time. 3 weeks. No drama. Let me translate, I replied. You want freedom with a landing pad. She waved a fork. I want space without reporting to you. And I want us to not blow up what we built just because I need time. You're putting me on a shelf, I told her. You come back, pull me down, dust me off, and we pretend I was always ready. You're being sarcastic. I'm being accurate. She leaned in with faux empathy. Look, you've been tense. You need your hobbies. I need Europe. We both come back lighter. All right, I said. 3 weeks works for me. But we do it as adults. Her eyes narrowed. Meaning? Separate finances starting tomorrow. You handle yours, I handle mine. No joint cards used for clarity. I'll move into the guest room tonight. And if there's no us during your clarity, there's no access to me like I'm a hotel concierge. If you need something from this house, text. If I'm free, I'll help. If I'm not, I won't. Her legs stopped bouncing. That's extreme. That's clean. So we're acting single? She tested. We're acting responsible. No gray areas. She smirked again, then tried soft. You're overreacting. It's 3 weeks. Then it shouldn't bother you. She studied me, looking for heat to throw back at me. I gave her none. She stabbed a bean, chewed like it offended her. Fine. 3 weeks. You cool now? Cool enough. She pushed her plate away. I'll book my flights tonight. Already booked, I said, because of course they were. Her eyebrows ticked up. You're not the only one who can be efficient. I never said I was. The next morning, she slid a mug to me where I sat at the kitchen table going through bank statements. I made you coffee, she offered, bright like a daytime commercial. Thanks, I answered, moving a stack to the left. We'll need to reroute auto payments. I already contacted the bank. You don't have to do that today, she said, hand on my shoulder a second too long. We can do it when I'm back. I'm doing it because you're leaving. Her hand withdrew. You love your rules. I love sanity. She softened more, an older trick. I hated how last night sounded, she said, taking the chair across from me. I don't want us to be cold. We don't have to be, I replied. We just have to be clear. Can we at least keep our Wednesday dinners? I'll FaceTime from Europe, she tried, eyeing me as if consistency could be dialed like a thermostat. No, I decided. No date rituals without the relationship that makes them mean something. She straightened. The commercial smile went off. Fine. Do what you want. I said. At the shop that afternoon, I moved my nameplate from the corner office to the bigger one. Not a promotion, just my business, my rules. Ryan, my foreman, watched me carry a box of files. You and Mia okay? He asked, neutral, the way men at work ask when they're deciding whether to dig or not. We're on pause, I said, setting the box down. And I'm unpausing everything else. He whistled low. That sounds like a line you thought about. It is, I replied, unrolling new project plans. We're rebuilding the client calendar. I'm taking Tuesdays and Thursdays off-site. Don't put me through Mia for scheduling. He nodded. Copy. At lunch, my sister-in-law Hannah called. She rarely called me direct unless it was about family logistics. Her voice held that careful tone of someone stepping around a mess. Hey, you around? She asked. At the shop. What's up? You too good, she said. Straight, no decor. We're in a trial separation, I said. Her phrase is pause. She's going to Europe to find clarity. There was a pause at her end that said plenty. She told me she booked a trip, Hannah said carefully. She didn't mention pause. I got the abridged version, I replied. She's been off, Hannah offered. I'm not defending, just telling you the temperature. I'm tracking it, I said. Thanks for the heads up. Do you need anything? She asked. I need my evenings back. That's happening. Coffee sometime, she said, quick, like she might talk herself out of it. I hate being in the dark and guessing. After work, I answered. Nothing heavy, just coffee. That works. That night, Mia came home early for once, set her phone down, screen down, and leaned on the island. So, she said, chewing a berry. I was thinking about your separate finances idea. We can do it for everything except the mortgage. It's easier for taxes. We'll handle it all, I told her. I called the lender. We'll split payments through the end of the month. Then we'll decide how to proceed. Decide? Her tone sharpened. It's my house too. Exactly why we decide, on paper. She snorted. You're punishing me for taking a trip. I'm creating a plan for your trip. Hard to punish someone who says there are no rules. Don't be smug. I'm practical. She looked me over, some calculation passing behind her eyes. Then the smile again, warmer. Let's not be enemies, she coaxed, leaning in like she used to when the world was simple. It's just 3 weeks. Then you'll still have friends to spend them with, I said, stepping away to the sink. I have a late coffee. With who? Hannah. She asked. Mia's mouth parted, just a fraction. You're meeting my sister. For coffee, I said. She's family. She's my family. She's ours, I corrected. And she reached out. This is weird, she stated. So is pausing a marriage while you hop countries, I answered. We're adapting. She laughed once, without humor. You're trying to make me jealous. I'm reminding you I have a life, I replied, drying my hands. You want space. That has ripple effects. Hannah showed up at the cafe in jeans and a gray sweater, hair tied back like she'd given up on impressing anyone today. She ordered tea. I stuck with coffee. She watched me, searching my face for cracks. How bad, she asked. Bad enough that words like pause get used at a dinner table without anyone choking on them, I told her. That's bold, she said, blowing on her tea. Also not fair. It's not about fair, I said. It's about respect. She told me the new rules and expected me to hold still. She thinks you will, Hannah said. She thinks you'll be there when she gets back, ready to pick up the pieces. She misread me. Hannah studied me. What are you going to do? Separate money, time, space. In the joint rituals. Move out temporarily. See if my life improves without waiting for someone else's calendar. Hannah nodded slowly. It will. Based on watching my sister aim for freedom and backup in the same sentence, she said without sugar. You weren't supposed to notice. I smiled, not because it was funny, but because it was true. I noticed. She hesitated, then added, I'm sorry. You didn't do it. I didn't stop it, she replied. Which is not the same thing, but feels similar. It isn't your job to referee, I told her. But I appreciate the honesty. We finished an easy conversation about work, about her night classes, about my shop's expansion. No complaints, no therapy. Just 2 adults sharing a table without trying to win. When I got home, Mia was on the couch, TV on, sound low. How was coffee? She asked. Good. Did she ask a lot? Mia prodded. She cared enough to check in. Of course she did, Mia said, slightly offended that someone had participated in a life she wanted to choreograph. Pack light, I told her, grabbing a duffel from the closet. Don't use our joint card for flights. She frowned. You really think I'd? I think we're following the rules you set, I said, placing the duffel on the bed. This is how that looks. The morning she flew out, she hugged me at the door with that practiced softness that used to erase arguments. I'll text when I land, she promised. Travel safe, I answered. You're not going to ask me to stay? She checked, testing for attachment she could bank. No. Something in her eyes shifted, respect or annoyance, hard to tell. Day 3 of her trip, I moved to a furnished month-to-month not far from the shop. Small place, clean lines, no history. I left her a note with a bullet list. Utilities split, mail forwarding, the dog staying with me for now because animals don't do well with sudden changes. She texted from an airport lounge selfie. This feels weird without you, she wrote. You chose weird, I replied. Don't be cold, came back. I'm consistent. She tried FaceTime 2 nights later at what for me was midnight. I declined. Why aren't you picking up? She texted. It's my sleep window. We always talk before bed, she wrote. Not on a pause. Okay, she replied. You're making a point. I'm living a point. Hannah and I fell into a rhythm that didn't need labels. Morning walks on the river path near my new place, a midweek dinner when our schedules lined up, a Saturday grocery run because my pantry looked like a bachelor's and she found that both funny and unacceptable. We'd talk about practical things, her classes, my subcontractors, a leaky faucet in her apartment, and occasionally the thing in the middle of us that we weren't reckless with. You sure you're not just reacting? She asked once, leaning on her cart. I reacted last week, I said, loading eggs. This is action. She smiled at that. I like clear. So do I. Mia's messages changed tone when she realized I wasn't orbiting. Why are you ignoring me on Monday? I'm not, I responded. I'm choosing when to respond. This is childish, Tuesday. This is adult, I replied. Are you seeing anyone? Wednesday. I'm spending time with people who respect my time, I answered. She sent a photo from a rooftop, glass raised to a skyline I didn't need to identify. You're free too, she wrote, like an invitation to misbehave. I'm good, I texted back. At the shop Thursday, Ryan stuck his head into my office. Your wife posted something about freedom months and tagged you, he said, half apologetic. It's trending with her friends. I don't do public, I said. But thanks. What do you want me to do if she shows up here? He asked. Tell her I'm off-site. You're here though. Tell her I'm off-site, I repeated. He got it. That afternoon, a longtime client came by with his project manager, Courtney, who's sharp and forgets nothing. We were going over timelines when Mia actually did show up. She swept into the lobby in travel clothes, sunglasses on indoors. Courtney and Ryan both looked at me. What are you doing here? I asked at the threshold. I missed you, she announced, loud enough to draw attention. I got an earlier flight for you. Not for me, I corrected, keeping my voice low. And I'm in a meeting. She laughed a little too brightly. Relax. Where's my hug? This is my workplace, I told her. We don't do scenes here. Wow, she said, performing to Courtney now. Who knew you were this uptight? I kept my eyes on her. We're not doing this. Ryan stepped in, helpful. We can set you up in the conference room if you're waiting. I'm his wife, she declared to the room, as if that title was a badge that got her through walls. And this is my shop, I replied. Conference room or later, Mia. Your pick. She stared at me, realized she wasn't pulling me into her play, and turned on a dime. Fine. Later. She left. Courtney closed the office door behind us and raised an eyebrow. Do we reschedule? She asked. No, I said. We continue. Courtney tossed a look at Ryan like, your boss has a spine. That's a good day at work. That night Mia texted, I'm sorry for earlier. I shouldn't have surprised you. Can we talk tonight? Tomorrow at noon, I wrote. At the house. You bring your plan. I bring mine. She sent a heart reaction, as if we were blinking back to default. That was illusion number 2 warming up before it even started. I arrived at the house at noon, on time. She was there with a charcuterie board that looked like she'd watched 3 videos to get it right. Candles, soft music, sleeves rolled. Hey, she greeted all mellow. I made us something. Looks good, I said, setting a folder on the table. I've got paperwork. She frowned at the folder like it was ruining her staging. Can we just talk first? She asked. No documents. Let's just be us. There isn't an us on pause, I told her. There are 2 individuals making choices. Let's act like it. She put a hand on my arm. I don't want to lose you. I looked at the hand. Then you should have respected me when you had me. She pulled the hand back like she'd touched something warmed by the sun. I messed up, she said, voice small. Europe was confusing. You wanted to be untethered with a tether. It's not confusing. It's convenient. I shouldn't have said not your business that night, she offered. I was defensive. Defensive is the word you use when you don't want to admit I wanted to do what I wanted. She winced. You're making me the villain. I'm making you responsible. Her eyes watered, and for a second I felt the reflex to comfort. Old habit. I let it pass. I slid the folder toward her. What's this? My plan, I said. I'm filing for divorce. Papers go to your parents' address because you're bouncing around. You can sign when you're ready. If you need time, take it. I'll be at the new place with my schedule and my peace. She stared at the folder like it might bite. You're serious? She whispered. I'm done being paused, I answered. She shook her head slowly, trying to rebuild the narrative. This is over a trip. This is over respect. She looked up, anger coming back to the surface. Is this because you're having coffee with Hannah? It's because I'm done negotiating about basic decency, I told her. Hannah's been decent. Her mouth set. You can't do this. I just did. She blew out a breath. So that's it. That's it. 3 weeks, she repeated, as if her original terms were a contract written on stone. 3 weeks showed me enough. She let out a laugh that wasn't humor. You won't go through with it. Watch me, I said. That night, Hannah texted, How did it go? Clean, I replied. Ugly, then clean. Are you okay? She asked. I'm better than okay. Do you want company? She asked, cautious. Yes. She came over with groceries, because she measures care in things that can be cooked and eaten. She moved around the small kitchen naturally, like she'd been there 100 times. She set 2 plates on the counter. You look lighter, she observed. I am. Good, she said, and she meant it. 2 days later, Mia posted from a coastal town, sped up little videos of breakfast and architecture as if scenery could fix the shape of a choice. A mutual friend sent me a screenshot with a caption, "She's living." I didn't answer. Living is fine. Disrespect isn't. By the end of week 2, word got to Europe that I was fine, more than fine. I was organized, focused, busy. I'd reclaimed clients, upped my gym time, and my evenings were booked with people who didn't turn affection into performance reviews. Apparently, that didn't fit the script. Mia texted, "I'm coming home early. We need to talk before you do something you'll regret." I already did what I won't regret, I responded. Be reasonable, she wrote. I am. She landed on a Sunday. I didn't go to the airport. I didn't warm the car up. I didn't set the table. I drank coffee on my patio and answered a couple emails. Hannah was at the counter, making breakfast, hair tucked behind her ear, looking like someone who didn't need to perform to be seen. She heard the knock before I did. I'll get it, she said. I nodded. If it's a package, drop it on the side table. She opened the door. Mia stood there with a suitcase, sunglasses on, trying to look composed and not quite making it. Hannah didn't flinch. You don't live here anymore, she told her quietly, no heat. He had the papers sent to your parents. Mia absorbed the sentence like a hit she hadn't braced for. You, she said to Hannah, like discovery and accusation at once. Me, Hannah agreed. Breakfast's getting cold. We're done here. She closed the door and set the lock with a click I recognized. She didn't look at me for confirmation. She didn't need it. I poured another cup. When she calls, Hannah started. I'll answer, I said. Once. Mia texted instead. You had my sister tell me? I called. She picked up on the first ring. That was cruel, she opened. That was efficient, I replied. You made your announcement at a dinner table. I made mine at a door. We're even on style, not on substance. You're throwing us away for your pride. I'm choosing respect, I said. You had a chance to be part of that. You wanted something else. You're with my sister. I'm with someone who doesn't ask me to hold still while she explores her options, I answered. That happens to be your sister. Any further questions? You're not the man I married, she tried. No, I agreed. I'm the man who learned. You'll regret this, she repeated, like a spell. Not today, I said. Take care, Mia. I hung up. One clean cut. No speeches after the point is made. After that, the noise dropped. She tried a couple times to stir it back up. Texts about logistics, a message about the dog, a request to pick up a box of winter clothes. I replied with times and addresses. No emoticons. No throwback jokes. Just facts. She showed up once while I was at work. Hannah dealt with it, because that was the boundary. Mia didn't push past her again. By the end of the month, the papers were acknowledged. We split the house. She wanted to keep it. I sold her my share and bought a place closer to the river. 3 bedrooms, solid yard. Enough room for a grill and friends who show up when invited. I upgraded my truck because I could, and because the old one had too many memories of waiting in driveways with the engine running. The shop doubled its contracts after I stopped using my energy to manage weather at home. I slept like a man who doesn't check his phone to see if he's needed. I wasn't waiting anymore. People asked about Mia in the way people do when there's gossip to be had. I didn't offer any. We're done, I'd say. I wish her clarity. That line was honest and petty enough to scratch the itch, but calm enough to end the topic. Last I heard, her Europe friends found new shiny things to post about. She bounced apartments once, then moved into a smaller place across town. When mutuals brought up her dating life, I let the conversation pass like a train I didn't need to catch. Hannah didn't show up in my life like a plot twist. She was there, consistent. She met my crew, stood in the shop doorway with a coffee while I explained a plan to 5 welders, and the plan got smarter because she asked 3 questions nobody else thought of. My friends liked her because she wasn't a show. She didn't take over rooms. She made them easier to be in. When someone who knew both sisters put 2 and 2 together, I answered once and then refused follow-ups. Spend 10 minutes with her and you'll understand, I said. That cleared the chatter. We didn't rush labels. We built a routine. Tuesday dinners, Saturday mornings at the market, a standing Thursday where she brought a stack of mail from her place and did her adulting at my dining table while I did mine. Nothing messy. Everything simple. When we finally did tell her parents, I handled it like a project. Clear, sober, no sales pitch. They were silent longer than was comfortable. Her dad asked me 2 questions about timelines and respect. I gave him 2 answers he could live with, and he nodded once, which is his way of saying, I'll watch and see. That's all I needed. Sometimes, when I was closing the shop at dusk, I'd think back to that first night, the locked bathroom door, the flipped dismissal, the way I almost swallowed it to keep the peace. I'm glad I didn't. People talk like endings are explosions. Most are more like decisions. You decide to stop letting someone vacuum out your self-respect under the label of space. You decide to install locks that keep your sanity in. You make a call. You stick to it. The last message I ever sent to Mia was short. She'd texted a month after everything settled, asking if we could do a closure dinner for old time's sake. As if time was the thing I owed her. I stared at the screen a second, then typed, Wednesday dinners are retired. Respect is mandatory in my life. Be well. Send. No dots pulsing back. No follow-up calls. Just quiet. Exactly what I asked for at the beginning and finally gave myself at the end. All right, fellas, quick check-in. If someone told you, let's pause our marriage while I find myself, would you hold the door or lock it? Hit like if boundaries matter. Subscribe if you're done being Plan B.